Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. And today I'm going to be saying a story while I do my makeup, or like some of it. The first time how I ever got an STI. Yeah, you guys, I've got an STI before. My first STI, so I'm going to say a story about it. Okay, so it all started in 2013-ish. Yeah, 2013-ish into 2014. So I met this guy through a friend, and funny enough, crazy thing about this thing was that he wasn't supposed to be the person like that was supposed to like do anything with. It was supposed to be his friend. But then eventually his friend and I were just not like vibing. It was just not there. The energy was not there. And then randomly, one random day, and also the reason why we were not supposed to do anything is because he's kind of like a sneaky ex-sneak link to somebody I know or something like that. So yeah. However, his friend and I were not really going well. So it ended up, and if this thing seems like I'm going down, I think this chair is going down on its own. So just no, I'm using one of this kind of chair. So yeah. Okay, so his friend and I were supposed to be friends, but we didn't end up being friends because of the fact that like we were just not vibing. So we're like, no need, clearly it's not gonna work. However, we were not thinking about it being us, but it ended up being something where randomly we ended up doing it. Ended up meeting randomly one day, and for some funny things, we ended up hooking up eventually. Like, not that day we met though, like another day, and everything. We ended up hooking up, and then we ended up hooking up for like a year. Now the thing about this whole thing is that I didn't have any issues like before recently, or before that time, because it's not like it's something that happened recently, something that happened since before, like, let's say 2025 beginning or something. I didn't have anything like that. I didn't have any SAI or anything. But in 2025 beginning, or like the December of 2024 into 2025 beginning, I started having this STI. Like, I started having this BV situation, because I went to the hospital and they were like, oh, you have BV and everything. And I'm like, oh, where's this from? Now, if you know BV, that BV comes from multiple things. So there's not really a thing you can't really pinpoint and say, oh, this is the thing that brings your BV. But it's just something you just know that, like, okay, anything can bring the BV. So I was like, okay, let me just, give him benefit of the doubt that he's not the one. Let me keep treating myself. Let me keep changing things just to make sure that, like, I'm safe and he's safe and we're all safe and everything. Why are my eyes looking red, first of all? Okay, why? Tell me why. We took a break, or not a break. We fought, and I stayed away like maybe, let's say, 2 months or so. And why is it in that 2 months I was okay? I never had like an issue of BV or anything anymore. It was like I was Gucci. So I ended up realizing that, we stayed away for, like, we fought and we stayed away for like 2 months. So I realized that in that 2 months, I ended up not having like any issue. There was no BV, there was no nothing. I was good. So I was like, okay, clearly this is from his side, because this has been happening for like, let's say 2 months. And also, no, 3 months, maybe 3 months. I think 3 months. Like each month I was having BV, like, and it was crazy because it was like, let's say I do it with him today, the next day I am going through that thing. And I know it's crazy because, like, then why did you stay? Because I didn't know it was him. Like, I kept thinking to myself, like, is it him? Is it not him? I didn't know until we fought this fight, and then we ended up staying away from each other. And while I was staying away from him, I realized that I'm really not going through that issue again. So clearly, I'm good. You're the one that gave me something. So, yeah, be safe out there, guys.